Good evening, Trust. Your day has been splendid. Welcome to the English News Bulletin. We'll begin with the headlines. The Rwanda Defense Force has officially enrolled newly trained soldiers into force following the completion of a 7-month military training program at the Basic Military Training Center, Nasho in Kirehe District. Residents in Kigali City are pleased with the new affordable prices of building permit published recently in the official gazette. I am Olive Nete. Welcome to the news in details. The Rwanda Defense Force has officially enrolled newly trained soldiers into the force following the completion of 7 months military training program at the Basic Military Training Center, Nasho in Kirehe District. These young men and women showcased their acquired skills in the arms and drills to the RDF leadership before being formally embraced into the force. The ceremony was presided over by the RDF Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Mubarak Muganga, on behalf of the Rwanda Defense Force Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency President Paul Kagame. In his address, Lieutenant General Mubarak Muganga congratulated the newly graduates and told them to use the knowledge gained to defend their country. The recruitment and integration of new soldiers constitutes an ongoing process aligned with the RDF's imperative operational readiness. Now to other news, the Murava website, honored among the top projects at the Hunger Pitch Fest, has assisted 620 IT professionals in securing employment across 70 companies. With a focus of continued impact, the platform aims to help 3,000 individuals secure jobs in the coming year. Follow the details. The site has been operational for 2.5 years. The founder, Vivian Wizeyimana, explains the motive behind its creation.
It started with my personal story of getting an opportunity to get different job opportunities coming, but at the same time you see your friends are struggling with missing job opportunities outside here. Why do you see that there is a big opportunity to tap into? So I decided to quit my job to build this company. So to build this company, the issue was to say, let's build African workforce in demand skills for the digital economy, and then even we connect them to job opportunities both in local companies and also in global companies in America, Europe, etc. So that was the idea behind Umurava.
While making progress towards his goals, this young entrepreneur acknowledges that significant benefits from his company are yet to yield big outcomes as it is still in its early stages of growth. The Umurava company is among the 5 awarded on Friday for the outstanding projects they have showcased. Vivian says this will greatly assist in expanding his project.
We want to reach 300 companies that use Umurava platform to find the workforce and even to find the skills they want. And also we wanted to make sure that we connect 3,000 young Rwandan talents with jobs and projects across different companies and organizations. So that's probably the target for next year. But our 10 years plan is already in place as well. We want to be in more than 10 countries. We want to give jobs to more than 20,000 African young people.
During the awarding ceremony for innovative projects in technology, the Director of Global Programs at the Susan Thompson Buffett Foundation, Dr. Senet Fiseha, emphasized the importance of youth contributions in driving the development the world requires.
We need all your efforts now more than ever. And it is particularly powerful to see Hunger Pitch and Unleash joining forces under one roof. As much progress as we have made towards sustainable development goals, there is so much more to do. Digital technology and innovation can change the trajectory of progress by disrupting the status quo and fundamentally changing assumptions about what is possible. Imagine if 10 years ago, someone told you drones would deliver blood in rural health facilities in Rwanda. Many of us would have said, you're crazy. And yet, that's exactly what is happening today. I'm particularly excited, and it won't be surprising to those who know me, that Hunger Pitch and Unleash are also tackling sexual and reproductive health. Realizing Africa's demographic dividends requires young people to delay childbearing, It requires them to access quality education and skills development, as well as career building.
This year, there were 45 entries in the competition, with the top 5 receiving prizes between 12.5 million and 50 million Rwandan francs. To other matters, the recently published building permit fees in the official gazette reveal a rate of 20,000 Rwandan francs for permits with a floor area not exceeding 100 square meters. Residents are pleased with the new affordable prices, recognizing their significant benefit. Follow the details. In Kigali sector, a place known as Norvège, construction, including story buildings, is booming daily. However, some owners of smaller plots have not built due to costs of building permits.
I am happy about this because it will help me to carry out construction activities in my home area. I will build a house.
The standard rates of fees levied on building permit are fixed as follows: 20,000 Rwandan francs for the floor area not exceeding 100 square meters, 100,000 Rwandan francs for the floor area ranging from above 100 square meters to 200 square meters, 150,000 Rwandan francs for the floor area ranging from above 200 square meters to 500 square meters, and 200,000 Rwandan francs for the floor area of more than 500 square meters. The fact that revenues paid for building permits will be based on the land area and not exceed 200,000 Rwandan francs is a change that is appreciated by most residents.
This is a small amount of money that is easy to find because it was usually hard since it was expensive. And it is also beneficial to people with small plots because it was hard for them to get building permits due to a lot of requirements such as the floor area needed for one to get a permit. Now that people with small plots can be able to get permits to build, it is of great benefit to them because not everyone has big plots. This will help people to build easily and legally.
icyangombwa cyo kubaka bizatuma abantu bubaka mu buryo bwiza kandi mu buryo bwemewe kandi buboroheye.
Non-governmental organizations have been calling for changes in land registration laws. Odette Mukarukundo, a lawyer from the Transparency International Rwanda, points out that these changes will help people of different backgrounds.
Umunyarwanda yegeranyaga agashaka amafaranga akagura ikibanza cyo kubaka.
A resident would do all the necessary to get the money to buy a plot so that he or she can build a house, and also do the necessary to get materials needed. The money also requested to get a building permit was a burden, since it was an additional fee to what they need. The levied fee is of a great importance to residents. Yes, we have to pay taxes, but when it is higher, it becomes a burden to people.
Ariko nanone iyo umusoro uri hejuru niho usanga n'abaturage bashaka uburyo bawukwepa.
These changes align with the community's needs as they recognize the significance of revenue for national development. Now to health matters, more young people in Rwanda have been committing themselves to help to fight HIV/AIDS with the aim of eradicating it completely. Figures indicate that the virus has been spreading faster in young people, with 3% of people between ages of 15 to 49 infected. We have details with Sergeant Hori.
When you speak to young students about HIV/AIDS, you get the impression that they are well informed.
Sidanzi yuko ari uruhurirane rw'indwara ziterwa n'agakoko kitwa.
I know that AIDS is actually the inability to resist diseases because a person's immune system has been compromised by HIV. I also understand that protecting ourselves from AIDS means we must first protect ourselves from that virus.
Kukambara nkareba neza nimba kujuje ubuziranenge kandi nkakambara bikwiye.
Young people therefore generally understand the role they must play in fighting HIV/AIDS. It's possible for HIV to be eradicated from among the youth and the whole country in general because clubs exist in all schools and at youth centers as well. That is how we are able to access information and services on reproductive health and how we can protect ourselves from AIDS, which is why I can say that I believe that HIV might have been completely eradicated by 2030.
Those that have already been infected should be brave enough to go to health centers to get more information on the state of their immune system and access the available services and drugs so that their condition does turn into full-blown AIDS.
However, when you go to rural areas and speak to young people not in school, a very different picture is presented.
When you try to ask about reproductive health or HIV, people just dismiss you and tell you to wait to hear such information on the radio or during sensitization campaigns. They say they are the wrong people to be asking such questions.
Obviously, it's a serious problem, and we try to educate each other. Those with smartphones access the information on different websites, and when all else fails, we just let things be. Rwandan health officials recognize that even though impressive progress has been made in fighting HIV/AIDS, there is still much to be done.
Are we doing enough, especially to young people? And the answer, I think, is no. We're not doing enough to protect young people. So here today, we should also look back on our strategies. How can we, in the next 1 year, before we meet again for another World AIDS Day, change, adapt, adjust, and even invent new ways of protecting young people? Because they're at risk, and this is the next, the generation of next leaders, next resident coordinators, next doctors, next ministers, and so on and so forth. They need to live free from HIV, or even if they get it, get better treatment, get to U equals U, undetectable, untransmittable. We've seen that. And then this is a sign of hope that we need to tell young people, and also those who are not yet, who are not young, could be older, but age is just a number. We know that.
A report issued by UNAIDS in July this year placed Rwanda among the top 5 African countries when it comes to fighting HIV/AIDS, with 95% of people living with the virus aware of the fact that they have it. The Rwanda Biomedical Center, meanwhile, reports that 3% of people in the country between the ages of 15 and 49 are living with the virus. The infection rate is currently at 0.08%, with 33% of those new infections young people. More than 95% of people living with the virus are on antiretroviral drugs.
Thank you for being part of our news today. Until next time, take care and goodbye.